If we ask your friends and family, who would they say you are?
I'm a very dedicated and determined man. I'm compassionate in my interactions with others and how I show up in life. I live a life in which I believe being in service to others is what's most important. For me, it's all about relationships. The relationships I have with friends and family, and the relationships I have within the community. I'm a husband, a father, I'm a mentor and a coach for youth in our schools. I'm a retired combat veteran and a retired first sergeant. I am involved in nonprofit organizations and heavily involved in activities throughout my community.
How will you improve the Clark County Sheriff's Office culture and morale, if needed?
The culture and the morale of the Sheriff's Office are interwoven, and I believe that the morale within the agency has a lot of room for improvement. When you have stagnant leadership over a long period of time, the job itself, the day in and day out exposure to things, affects how people relate with themselves, how the relationships with their family, coworkers, and how they show up in the community. One way I would like to address the morale within the Sheriff's Office is by instituting a new position. And it's that similar to what we do in the service. It's a first sergeant. The first sergeant is responsible for the health, safety, welfare, and morale of every employee. Their job is to focus on what that employee needs in their life, to take care of them and their families, and to bring that type of attention and whatever issues they're facing, whatever concerns they have a voice and a channel to the administration that focuses just on the employees, their relationships, and improves the morale because they feel empowered, they feel valued and recognized. And we just don't do enough of that to support our employees.
Theft, the most prolific crime in Clark County, often leaves its victims feeling violated and unsafe. It also appears to have a low response priority. Why is that?
Theft is one of the most common crimes. And it's often part of something else, whether it's a burglary, a robbery, a vehicle prowl. And the way we report the statistics, you have the larger crime, which is really what people feel violated about, that their home was broken into or their car was broken into. And theft is often the secondary issue. The way we need to address that problem, and there's multiple things that need to be done. One of them is how we work with the community. How we strengthen those areas within the community that are more subject to theft. Strengthening the relationships with the citizens in the neighborhoods so that they feel encouraged to report suspicious behavior, to work with us. Instituting models such as crime prevention through environmental design, we can actually create environments in which we reduce this. And working with the citizens so that they have a better understanding of what we need. But ultimately, it's going to require us working with the citizens. It's going to require more deputies to be able to adequately respond and deal with these types of issues in partnership with the community.
What difficult decision or life-changing event has prepared you to lead the Sheriff's Department?
My whole career has prepared me to be Sheriff of Clark County. And I've had a lot of experiences that have taught me a lot of things. But the experience that I went through a few years ago, losing my son Ryan, really gave me an opportunity to look at my life and to look at what I value. And I learned a great deal through that process of healing. For me, it's about being in service. It's about not taking life for granted. It's about the relationships that I have in my life, and that includes my community. It's about being in service to them. I learned that my son, he used to look at me, and I'd see this reflection in his eyes. And through this painful process, I learned that I want to show up. I want to be the man that I saw reflected in my son's eyes. And that's who I am. And that level of passion is what I bring to the office. The desire to do things in a compassionate manner, to help people, because people matter. What they're going through in their life matters. And how we're in service to each other matters.
How would you differentiate yourself from your opponents?
My 23 years of law enforcement experience is a culmination of experiences from multiple agencies, working a wide range of issues, specialty positions, but I'm the only candidate that brings different perspectives from experiences working in different agencies to the table. I believe that it's time for a fresh perspective within the Sheriff's Office. My entire career is not based upon a career just here. It's not based upon experiences just here. The citizens of this county have a choice this election, first time in decades. If you like how the Sheriff's Office has done business and how they show up in your life, then you have that choice. If you want a fresh perspective, then I'm your candidate. I plan to open the windows at the Sheriff's Office, bring in a fresh perspective, involve the citizens, and change how we show up and how we are present in this community and how we serve the citizens of this community.
3 Southeast Angus Street, and to 350, disregard 26, please.